Hi, this is Sam.
And Dan.
And we're from the band Architects, and you're watching Chaos TV.
Okay, so what's up everybody? Chaos TV's today. We are here at Tuska Open Air, and we have here Sam and Dan from the band Architects. So first of all, hello and welcome to Chaos TV once again.
Thank you for having us.
So how has the summer generally been for you guys so far? Has it been all good?
Well, we haven't done anything.
We've had a lot of time at home, really. Yeah, so that's been nice, and we did South America, and we did Slam Dunk in the UK, and that's really been it.
Yeah.
But, our festival season sort of starts now. We're going on now.
It's not too intense. We kind of just got bits and bobs. We're sort of winding down at the end of our album cycle, and more focusing on writing a new record right now.
So you guys did a Slipknot cover for Wait and Bleed for the Rock Sound magazine. Mm-hmm. How did you end up covering that specific song, and what does Slipknot mean to you guys in general?
They asked us to do a cover, didn't they? I think originally we said we wanted to do Norma Jean.
Okay. Well, I think we said we'll either do Memphis Will Be Laid to Waste by Norma Jean, or Slipknot Wait and Bleed, and obviously in the magazine went for the biggest metal band in the world instead of Norma Jean.
And we just did it for a bit of fun, really. It was done pretty quickly.
We wanted to do something heavy. Yeah. It's easy for us to get tempted to do a bit of a softer song, more of a rock song or something, because there's perhaps we listen to a lot of that kind of music, but we wanted to do something heavy, but we wanted to perhaps look at something that was popular and that people would know, and we kind of came to the conclusion that Wait and Bleed might be the biggest, fastest, heavy song we could think of. It's short and fast and kind of full on.
I liked it a lot because it was made in a way that it sounded even though it is a Slipknot song, and I guess that was the idea behind it when you started doing it.
We just wanted to do the heaviest, make it as heavy as we could, really. And it's a great song, and we obviously all grew up liking Slipknot, and still do, and it was just a really fun thing to do.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you are aware, but Gene Simmons has once again made a big statement, and he has said that basically the music fans are making it impossible for younger bands to succeed money-wisely today. So what do you think about that?
Well, what's he saying that young bands what is he saying that fans are doing? Not buying albums and stuff? Is that the problem?
No, he means that the fans aren't supporting the young bands enough, so that it is basically impossible for them to become big.
Right. I see what I mean. It takes a long time. I mean, you look at festivals and there's it's hard to get to that festival headline size, I suppose.
Circumstantial as well, isn't it?
It takes time.
Yeah, there's a lot of bands from the UK that are doing very well, and America. And
in a few years' time, Bring Me the Horizon will headline Download Festival, or A Day to Remember will headline Download Festival. They're bands that keep going bigger, and our band, despite what some might think after today's set, is bigger than ever, and that's after 6 albums, and so it just takes a really long time. It's hard for bands to just blow up off a debut album in this genre, in heavy music. But I think you see Royal Blood,
doing great. That's a perfect example, isn't it?
One album, and they're enormous. So I mean, at least in the UK, I know that they're doing well elsewhere, but they are an enormous band on their debut record, so it does happen.
I think there's a lot of labels that really want to kind of have this, give a band a load of money and then be successful, but it doesn't work. It does, like Dan's saying. Obviously there is exceptions, but sometimes it does take time. For example, Bring Me and A Day to Remember. They have toured relentlessly for 10 odd years, and now they're where they are, and we've done the same thing for 10 years.
I was actually going to say that you have done pretty much the same thing that you have basically toured your ass off to get where you are at the moment. So what do you guys think, where there'll be stadium sized bands in the future after those basically Kiss and Iron Maiden and Metallica and bands like that have disappeared, or
in alternative music and in rock music
and metal music? Will there be, for example, new Iron Maiden someday, or will there be, for example, new Kiss?
I mean, like the Foo Fighters right now, you know, like
I suppose they're an older generation.
Yeah.
Released their albums in the early, sort of 96 or something with their first record, 97, 98 or something. So,
but I mean, they could be the next like Maiden, I guess.
I think every band is unique, and I spent a lot of time sort of growing up in this band trying to compare what we've done and our path to other bands, and I don't think you can. Every band sort of does their own thing, and that, you know, some bands blow up on their first album, some bands blow up on their 10th album. It just, everyone is different, right? So when you talk about Iron Maiden or Metallica or whatever, those are, you know, unique situations, and that can occur again, you know, but like, I would not be surprised if someone came back from the future and told me, you know, Bring Me the Horizon are doing stadiums now in 10 years time or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised, you know. So you never know where bands end up. It's just, you know what, there's a lot more bands now.
Yeah,
when Iron Maiden, Metallica started, there was much less bands, you know, and now everyone is in a band. So it's much more, I don't know, saturated, I guess. But ultimately, if you write good music, you will attain a certain level of success. And that isn't always the case. There are some bands that write good music and don't get anywhere, and that's very sad and unfair. But a lot of bands sort of wonder, well, why didn't that band work, or why didn't our band work, or whatever. And ultimately, usually it's just because they're not very good.
Yeah, but don't you think it's also because of the digital music that the band doesn't get that big? Because there, as you said, there is so many bands to choose from like fans' perspective as well, and so many shows to attend, and
so it means you have to be really good, and and ultimately it drives up the quality in many ways. You know, like you have to be good to separate yourself from the pack to you know, rise to the top. And if you're just like an average band, then you're going to achieve an average amount of popularity. You know, so it probably, now there's lots of bands, it just means that music has to be better, and ultimately the fact that there's so many bands will mean that the quality of music gets better.
So I read from Tom's Twitter that you have already started making the album number 7. So how far is the process for it at the moment?
I think we're about six or 7 in at the moment. Tom's been working on a lot of stuff, and Dan's bringing up to Tom's, and they've been starting to put stuff together. And it's early stages, like songs are being sent around, and we're all sort of starting to get excited. But in a couple of weeks we're going to start tracking, doing some vocal demos, and then that's really when it all kind of starts taking shape, and us realising, you know, do we need to change certain bits to fit in with the vocals or not. But it's all heading in the right direction, and Tom's coming up with some great stuff, and we're actually really looking forward to recording. Obviously this is the longest we've toured an album before. Normally we're like want to rush and get straight back in the studio, but we've been fortunate enough to enjoy the success of this record, and kind of,
as was evident in the show today.
You know.
I feel that this like record that you're touring with at the moment has been like your most successful to date ever on your career. Do you agree?
100%. Yeah, there's no doubt. It's sold the most and
had the biggest
shows. And
if anything, it sort of just means going into the studio next time is a bit more relaxing, and we kind of know which route to go. And
it feels like there's less pressure, because I guess we really know what we're doing, and
we kind of know what people like, and
it isn't like a matter of, before it was like we weren't really at a point where we could earn a living, and we've been going a long time, so it was kind of important that we did a new album that achieved a certain amount of success. Otherwise it was like, well, you know, we're all like sort of 27ish, you know, and we need to earn some money, because you need money to live in this world. As much as that's a terrible thing, you know, that's just the reality of it, and we needed it to do well. So luckily we were fortunate that it did, but it meant that there was much more pressure then. Now it's like, okay, well, you know, things can get set. I think we could release an average album and we'd still do okay now. We're release a good one, but you know, there's less. The stakes are lower in a sense. But you know, at the same time, obviously, it's vital that we keep producing better and better music. Because I mean, it would be boring not to be driven to achieve that.
So as you guys said, you were happy with the latest album. So do you plan on basically continuing that path with the next album? So it will be like somehow musically similar to it, or?
I think we've obviously been kind of searching for our sort of sound, if you like, and we found something that we all enjoy playing and has had a good response. So like, I don't think we're gonna sway too far from where we are now as a band, but I think obviously we want to step up our game and make it a little bit more interesting, because there's no point in releasing the same record again.
And you have always changed and evolved quite a lot, like between the albums. So
which and you know what, we probably think it's quite similar to Lost Forever, what we've done so far, and then we'll release it and everyone will say, oh, it's completely different. And who knows, we'll have to see what it's like when it's finished. And
things change also when you go to the studio, so it can sound totally different after the studio than it sounds before. Okay, so thank you guys very much for your time, and best of luck for the future. Anything you want to say to your Finnish fans as a closure?
See you next.
You can hold it yourself.
Thanks for all the Finnish fans that came to see us at Tusker Open Air Festival.
All 6 of you were great.
I could probably name them. And we'll come back and do our own show.
They're better, our own shows. Thanks to everyone that came to our own show.
Yeah, last time we played Helsinki, it was really, really cool. And we didn't come on our last tour because the ferry was too long.
Yeah.
That wasn't the reason, really, was it?
No.
It was because our booking agent sent us the routing and Helsinki wasn't on it.
Then we just were lazy.
Right. Yeah. We do want to come back, though, because it is really, really great here.
And so did Stray from the Path, and so did Northlane, because they loved it so much.
Yeah, we all loved it. So I really hope that we can come back with a new album, blockbuster album.
Bigger than this one.
Yeah, it's going to be bigger and better, stronger, faster, slower.
And then we'll come back and headline Tusker.
We'll headline. We'll fucking headline on the festival. So thanks very much.
Cheers.